When it comes to kissing a woman and truly igniting that spark, most men automatically go for the lips. It's the go to the expected, and often where all the attention is placed. But here's the thing. Kissing a woman in a way that drives her wild is not just about locking lips. In fact, when you limit your affection to just her mouth, you miss out on some of the most powerful opportunities to connect with her both physically and emotionally. Because a woman's body isn't just waiting to be kissed. It's waiting to be explored with intention, patience, and awareness. And when you start to understand that it's not just about where you kiss her, but how you make her feel in that moment, everything changes. You see, kissing should never feel like a checklist. It's not about technicality. It's about presence. It's about reading her body, feeling her energy, and tuning into what's unspoken between you. When a woman feels like you're kissing her not just because you want something from her, but because you genuinely want to give her a feeling, a moment, an experience, that's when it starts to hit differently. That's when the walls come down. That's when her body opens up in ways you never imagined. Too often, men rush. They go in fast, mechanical, with one destination in mind. But what truly drives a woman wild isn't the end goal. It's the build up. It's the pauses between each kiss, the slight hesitation before your lips touch her skin, the slow discovery of places she didn't even realize craved your attention. When you step back and let go of the pressure to perform, you create space for intimacy to blossom. And in that space, a woman starts to trust you with her body, with her vulnerability, with her softness. Every part of her has a story, a sensation, a memory. And when you kiss her in places that go beyond the obvious, you awaken parts of her that may have been dormant for years. A kiss on her collarbone might remind her of being desired without being rushed. A kiss on her cheek might take her back to a moment of feeling deeply seen. These aren't just kisses. They are emotional triggers. And when you become aware of that, you don't just kiss her body. You speak to her soul. It's also important to understand that every woman is different. What works for one might not work for another. That's why tuning into her reactions, her breathing, her body language, the way she subtly leans in or pulls away, is everything. Because the most powerful kiss isn't necessarily the deepest or the longest. It's the one that feels aligned, the one that makes her forget time, the one that makes her feel safe as and wanted at the same time. So before you start thinking about where to kiss her to drive her wild, take a step back and ask yourself, am I present in this moment? Because you could kiss her lips 1,000 times and never reach her. But one mindful, slow, intentional kiss, somewhere unexpected, that can change everything. This is where desire truly begins. One of the most underestimated kisses a man can give a woman is the kiss on her forehead. To some, it might seem simple, maybe even too innocent to matter. But the truth is, this one small gesture carries a level of emotional weight that many overlook. It's not fiery or lust-driven. It's not about excitement or heat. It's about depth. It's about safety. It's about a kind of connection that goes beyond the physical. And when done right, it stirs something inside her that not even the most passionate kiss on the lips can reach. A forehead kiss tells her something that words often fail to say. It tells her, I see you. I respect you. You matter to me. And women crave that. They crave to feel cherished, not just desired. Because while passion has its place, and don't get me wrong, it's important, what stays with her long after you've left the room isn't how aggressively you kissed her mouth. It's how gently you made her feel held. A forehead kiss doesn't ask for anything in return. It's not part of a strategy to get somewhere else. That's what makes it so powerful. It stands alone, and because of that, it speaks volumes. It's in those quiet, tender moments, when she's tired, anxious, or deep in thought, that a forehead kiss can shift her entire mood. It's grounding. It's intimate in a way that doesn't scream, "I want your body," but rather whispers, "I'm here and I've got you." That kind of kiss sinks into her skin and stays with her because it taps into the emotional core of what women long for. Security. Not just physical security, but emotional safety. The feeling that they can soften around you without fear of being judged, pushed, or taken advantage of. And the beauty is, you don't need to wait for a special moment. In fact, the most powerful forehead kisses are the ones she didn't see coming. Maybe it's as she's laying next to you, drifting off to sleep. Maybe it's when you're pulling her in for a hug after a long day. Maybe it's in silence, when words feel too heavy. That's when it means the most. Because it's not calculated. It's instinctual. And when a woman feels that kind of natural affection, she lets her guard down. She feels safe to open up, to lean in, to trust. Now here's where a lot of men miss the mark. They focus so much on creating physical excitement that they forget emotional intimacy is what amplifies that physical spark. A forehead kiss may not look like much, but what it builds inside her. The emotional connection, the feeling of being cared for, makes every other kind of kiss afterwards so much more intense. Because now it's not just about lips and touch. It's about meaning. And meaning is what makes a woman crave you long after the moment has passed. So if you want to drive her wild, don't overlook the gentle power of kissing her forehead. It might be quiet, it might be subtle, but its impact is unforgettable. If there's one place that holds an almost magical kind of power when it comes to kissing a woman, it's the neck. This isn't about just pressing your lips somewhere convenient. It's about tapping into one of the most sensitive, responsive areas of her body. The neck holds tension, energy, and vulnerability. It's exposed, yet protected. And when you lean in and kiss her there, it's not just physical, it's deeply psychological. It triggers something primal, something tender, something irresistible. The thing about kissing a woman's neck is that it bypasses the thinking brain and goes straight to sensation. It's not just about arousal. It's about emotional intensity. A kiss on the neck says, "I want you, but I'm going to take my time." And trust me, when you create that contrast between closeness and restraint, she feels it in every part of her. It's the kind of kiss that doesn't scream. It whispers. And in that whisper, she hears everything she needs to know about how much you want her, without you saying a single word. But here's where most men get it wrong. They rush. They think a kiss on the neck is just a step in the process of getting somewhere else. And that's where the power gets lost. A neck kiss isn't a checkpoint. It's a moment in itself. It's about slowing down and making her feel like time has stopped. And the only thing that exists is the space between your lips and her skin. That pause, that gentle brush, that lingering moment. Those are the details that drive her wild. And it's not just about the act. It's about the intention behind it. Are you present when you do it? Are you paying attention to how she reacts? The way her breath changes, the way her shoulders rise, the way she leans into you without realizing. Because when you tune into that, you'll notice something remarkable. Her body begins to speak. And when her body speaks, all you have to do is listen with your touch. The neck becomes this beautiful conversation between you and her, where silence becomes more intimate than words. There's also something deeply vulnerable about the neck. It's a place she doesn't just let anyone touch. It's where her pulse beats, where her voice comes from, where her perfume lingers. And when you kiss her there with care, she doesn't just feel wanted, she feels chosen. And when a woman feels chosen, that's when everything inside her begins to open up. She surrenders. Not because you demanded it, but because she trusts you enough to. It's not about being rough or intense. Sometimes The lightest kiss has the deepest impact, a slow, delicate trace of your lips, from just below her ear down to the curve where her neck meets her shoulder, can ignite something fierce inside her. And it's not because of the pressure, it's because of the presence. She can feel when you're genuinely connected, and that connection is what unlocks her. So if you want to truly kiss a woman in a way that leaves her breathless, don't overlook her neck. It's not just a physical zone, it's an emotional one. And when you learn how to approach it with awareness, patience, and purpose, you'll find that this one simple act can awaken a whole new level of desire in her. There's something incredibly captivating about the places on a woman's body that rarely get attention. Places that are overlooked, underestimated, or simply forgotten in the rush of passion. One of those places is the inner wrist. Now, you might be wondering, why the wrist? But that's exactly the point. It's unexpected. It's subtle. And in that subtlety lies its power. The inner wrist is a delicate, nerve-rich area, and when kissed with intention, it sends a ripple of sensation through her entire body. It's not just the physical contact. It's the meaning behind it. Kissing her inner wrist shows a different kind of desire. It's not loud or aggressive. It's thoughtful, almost reverent. It says, I want all of you, even the parts no one else notices. And women feel that. They feel when you're paying attention, when you're not rushing to the most obvious places, but instead choosing to explore her with care and curiosity. That kiss on the wrist might be brief, but in that moment, you're telling her that every inch of her matters, that nothing about her is too small or too hidden to be adored. There's a vulnerability to the inner wrist too. It's where her pulse beats. It's exposed. It's soft. It's rarely touched in a romantic context, which makes it all the more intimate when you lean in and press your lips there. And when you do it slowly, gently, like you're savoring the moment, it creates a kind of emotional pull that goes far beyond physical touch. You're not just stimulating her senses. You're stirring something deeper, something emotional, something sacred. The beauty of kissing her wrist is that it can happen anywhere. It's not reserved for the bedroom. It could be in the middle of a conversation, in a quiet moment during dinner, or when you're walking together and she reaches for your hand. And when you take that hand, turn it slightly and kiss the inside of her wrist. It catches her off guard in the best way, because it shows her you're not operating on autopilot. You're fully present. You're paying attention. And that level of mindfulness is incredibly seductive. It's also a way of slowing things down, of shifting the energy from expectation to appreciation. When you kiss her inner wrist, you're not trying to lead her anywhere. You're simply being with her, honoring her body in a way that's tender, patient, and deeply personal. And when a woman feels seen and cherished like that, something inside her melts. She begins to trust you with her softness, with her silence, with the parts of her she doesn't show to just anyone. What's most powerful about this kind of kiss is the emotional echo it leaves behind. Long after the moment has passed, she'll remember how it felt. She'll remember the stillness of it, the surprise, the warmth of your lips on a place she didn't even know could feel that good. That memory becomes imprinted, not because it was loud, but because it was intentional, because it was real. So if you want to drive her wild, not just in the moment, but in her mind and heart, kiss the places that no one else thinks to. And when you kiss her inner wrist, do it like it's the most precious part of her. Because in that tiny, quiet gesture, you're speaking volumes. There's something incredibly intimate about kissing a woman's back, especially her lower back. It's one of those places that often gets passed over, yet it holds a quiet kind of power, a space where sensuality meets trust. It's not a place that begs for attention, but when you give it that attention, the impact is unforgettable. Because the lower back isn't just about the physical. It's about how safe she feels in your presence, how seen she feels without being put on display, and how deeply you respect her body as something more than just a vehicle for pleasure. A kiss on the lower back isn't loud. It doesn't need to be. It's soft, grounding, and deeply connective. It says, "I admire you." It tells her you're not just focused on what you can get, but on the experience you're building with her, one moment at a time. And the thing is, the lower back is a vulnerable spot. It's not the kind of place she expects you to touch or kiss unless you're intentional. That's why, when you do, it lingers in her memory. It tells her, "This man sees me completely." Think about it when she's standing at the sink or getting dressed or lying face down after a long day. And you move in quietly and kiss her lower back. There's no script to follow. It's unexpected, it's raw. And in that simplicity, you create a feeling that no amount of words could ever replicate. It's the kind of kiss that doesn't ask for anything. It just gives. And because it's so rare, it feels sacred. Women don't just crave physical closeness. They crave emotional reassurance. They want to know that they can let go, that they can soften around you, that they can be touched without being sexualized every single time. And a kiss on the lower back walks that perfect line. It's sensual, yes, but it's also comforting. It's not aggressive. It's not fast. It's slow, gentle, and deeply grounding. You're telling her you're safe with me, not through words, but through energy. And women are experts at feeling energy. They can tell the difference between a kiss given with presence and one given out of routine. And when they feel the presence in that moment, they lean into it. Their guard drops. Their body begins to trust you. Another reason the lower back is so powerful is because it often connects with other forms of touch. Maybe your hand is on her waist as you pull her closer, and you lean down just slightly to kiss that space. Or maybe she's resting on her stomach, and you start from the top of her spine, working your way down slowly, deliberately. Each kiss tells a story. It's not rushed. It's not careless. It's deliberate and soft. And in that slowness, she feels something deeper than lust. She feels adored. What you're really doing in that moment is communicating without saying a word. And what she hears is this, see, I respect you. I want you. But more than anything, I care about how you feel. That message, that clarity of intention, is what sets you apart. It's what makes her think about you when you're not around. It's what creates that emotional tie, that physical craving, that lasting connection. So the next time you find yourself close enough to kiss her back, especially her lower back, don't hesitate. Do it gently. Do it with presence. And let that moment remind her that she's not just wanted. She's deeply valued. You could kiss her in all the right places. Hit every sweet spot. Follow every guide out there. But if the timing and intention behind it are off, it'll fall flat. Because what truly drives a woman wild isn't just where you kiss her, it's how you kiss her. The energy you bring into that moment. The presence you carry. The way you make her feel not just touched, but chosen, safe, seen. And that has everything to do with your mindset, your timing, and your intention. Most men are so focused on performance that they forget to pause and feel. They're thinking about the next move, the end goal, how far things might go. But a woman can sense that. She can feel when your kiss is just a means to an end. And the moment she feels that, the emotional connection begins to fade. But when you're fully present, when your kiss is not a request, but a gift, she receives it completely differently. She feels adored, not targeted. And that changes everything. A kiss done at the wrong time, no matter how skilled, can create resistance. But a kiss given in the right moment, with emotional awareness, can break down every wall. You have to feel her. Is she relaxed? Is she emotionally open? Is there a quiet between you that's begging to be filled, not with words, but with something deeper? That's when you kiss her, not because you feel like you should, but because the moment calls for it. And trust me, she can tell the difference. There's also a rhythm to kissing that many overlook. It's not supposed to be rushed or repetitive. Every woman has her own tempo, her own emotional landscape.